than ever before, and that doesn't change for our food supply either. Our food supply is growing all over the planet, and it gets to you in pretty sweet ways, whether that's the transportation of it, the refrigeration of it. I mean, you are easily have eaten food from all over the world all week. Whether that's if you ate anything vanilla, it probably came from Madagascar or India. If you ate anything with palm oil in it, you probably were eating it from Indonesia, maybe the Philippines. You ate avocados. Guacamole sounds really good right now. I'm recording this video at 9:49 in the morning, and guacamole sounds really good already. I mean, you're getting food from all over the world, no matter what. Harvesting equipment, we've improved so much. The shipment of things. A good vocab word here is cool chain. Cool chains, and that's just because you have people that you can ship things via refrigeration for number before. My uncle is still a truck driver, and he shipped the Smucker's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, the crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So good. I'm getting really hungry right now. I mean, you can eat food basically grown all over the world. Now, locally supplied food is decreased. There's a pushback against that, but because of how that works. So one of the reasons we can do that is infrastructure. Will come back to neocolonialism. Okay. Now, what hasn't changed though is there's still undernourished people throughout the world. Okay, you can see this where those people are, and so that's just it's something to keep in the back of our mind whenever we're talking about food. Okay, here's a food production cool commodity chain. Again, you have some sort of way that you need some sort of distribution where it has to be refrigerated. That's what it is. This is a sweet word, a cool commodity chain. CCC. Where's our food go? This is so food grown in the United States. Where's it shipped to? Exports. We ship a lot of stuff to China. What do we ship to China? A ton of pork. Actually, China eats a lot of the pork the United States doesn't. So, like the United States with pigs, yeah, we eat ham and ribs and pulled pork and things like that. Well, China takes a lot of the other part of the pig, and they like to eat that part. And you can also see here, this basically follows China's growing middle class. That is trying to continue to grow middle class. That has continued. Where's the food go? It also goes to Mexico and to Canada are the top three. Where's our food come from? Well, we send a lot, or we get a lot from Canada, and we also ship a lot to Mexico. The Canadian stuff, we get a lot of our wheat and grain from there, especially from the Saskatchewan and Alberta provinces. And we get a lot of our fish out of Canada as well. Importers of seafood to the U.S. Here we get come from Southeast Asia. This is the whole purpose of this is to show you our just global supply of food. This is meat demand in China, and we send a ton there. Australia sends a ton there. Argentina doesn't ship as much there as they do the United States. You can also see soy. China, I mean, if 1.4 billion people, you got to feed them all, and they're all over the place. That China also gets a ton of their corn from all over the world as well. Now, food security is also part because while we do make enough food to feed the world, there is no question about that. At the same time, we do not feed everybody. And so you can see here just where people are calorie dependent, are calorie import dependent. So basically, foods that are dependent on agriculture coming into their country. That's in red is more than 75, orange is 50 to 75, yellow is 25 to 50, light yellow is 10 to 25, green is food secure, the light green, dark green is exports, and blue is exports even more. Here, a lot of these countries, places that are importing way more. First of all, this is a different political issue that they have. It's the source for 2017. But I feel like it's a lot of climates that are tough. Looking at a lot of arid climates here. I mean, Japan has way more people than it does land. Iceland is not great for agriculture, really good for fishing. Same with Greenland. But then you can also see places that are way more food than here. Your blues and your greens. Okay. I think this is a sweet map because it shows you tons of your fruits and vegetables that you eat in the winter months and especially in the spring months come from Mexico and actually Chile. Chile and Argentina produce a ton of them. You can see basically here's where a lot of them are grown. So this is after the growing season for the United States is over. So here in Minnesota, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, which we do year round, especially in like the late or like springtime when the growing season has just started for most of the rest of the country, You're getting a ton of them from the Mediterranean agricultural spots, especially Chile. Now, the global supply of food, in this case commodities, also should talk about drugs. Because in cocaine, whatever drug you want to talk about, opium, I mean, is growing around the world. It's just an agricultural commodity, whether it's legal or not, in this case, not legal, needs to be talked about. When the United States goes into Afghanistan in the mid 2000s, one of the things they really struggled with was a lot of the opium grown in Afghanistan was ending back up in the United States as drugs. However, what they were figuring out is if we destroy the opium fields, even we know they end up in the United States, we are literally taking people's livelihoods. So they sent people over to teach them how to farm other things. It worked okay for a time, but I mean, we obviously know that the drug trade is going to continue really no matter what. And a lot of the drug trade at that point then moved to other countries, and those farmers had learned something else. So that's what you can see here. You get a lot of the drug trafficking. Colombia is a source, Peru, Bolivia, Mexico is a little bit of a source, and so you can see here where the drugs end up around the world. So again, what do you know from this lecture? You should know from this lecture, basically, we are more interconnected than ever before. What that means is, when I didn't cover this, so I'm coming back to it here, neocolonialism, when you have basically that economic colonialism going on, that you have the plantations, you have the coffee growing in Brazil, you have the coffee growing in Vietnam. I mean, all those profits leave and they go and they cease elsewhere, and the land is just getting used. And that's mainly because infrastructure can. What should you know from this lecture? Neocolonialism is an impact, cool change, and it's like you can get food from all over the world more than you ever have before.